Oh, no, really? Oh, thank you.
Hi, this is Tim Knaus from syracuse.com. I'm here at the Hotel Syracuse with Onondaga County Executive Joanie Mahoney, who's holding a little gathering for election night, and we're going to talk about the election. Joanie, what? There is an election tonight.
Thank you.
What are you hoping for Central New York to come out of tonight?
I'm hoping that starting tomorrow, the country starts to come back together a little. I think we heard some very clear opinions on both sides. I think we're very divided, and we have a job to do ahead of us. We were talking tonight about the fact that there's still a Supreme Court vacancy, and we're going to have to find a way to work together. And I'm hoping that the national political scene can look a little bit more like our local scene. I mean, John Katko, who I hope is going to win in a few minutes, he's made a name for himself by working across the aisle in a bipartisan way. And it has been rewarded here in Central New York. You know, people are very happy with their congressman because he is just figuring out a way to get things done. And I'm hoping that we see some more of that after this is over.
You've been notable for not always hewing to party lines.
Right, that's true.
You endorsed the Democratic governor, and you've worked with Democrats and with Republicans. And you've also expressed some concerns about the Republican Party this year in the presidential election. Can you talk a little bit about that and what in particular has bothered you?
For me, it's always been the community first before the party, and that has ruffled some feathers, I think, with my local party. But I asked the public for this job because I was trying to make this community a place where my kids would want to live. And that's how I have made decisions. That's why we've done the things that we've done. And there's not a Democratic way or a Republican way. I very much appreciate the support that I've had from the rank and file, you know, committee people, and people on both sides of the aisle have supported me. This election cycle has, in my world, it's been conversations among people about more of who are you voting against than who are you voting for, which is the most troubling thing for me. Is I want my family to be inspired. I want there to be some hope that we're going to move in a direction that is healthy and optimistic. And I thought the most troubling thing about this election was the conversation that surrounded more of holding your nose and voting, and that's awful for our country.
Did you have to hold your nose and vote?
No, I have spent a lot of time in politics, and I hope that this is just a cyclical or maybe an aberration. I've never seen an election like this one. And I've watched people on television in the last couple of weeks who are 30, 40 years older than me say they've never seen something like this before, which I think is the most interesting, because usually you just hear from older people who say, oh, this is like that race back in but they're saying we've never seen anything like this. So I hope this is an aberration, and then, maybe we'll all be surprised and we'll have a good, robust, healthy debate that will lead to some progress. That's what I'm hoping.
We don't know any results yet, obviously. It's early, but would you like to say who you think we'd be best with as president?
Well, fortunately, in my world, the most important thing really is the partnership that we have with the towns, the villages, and the state of New York. I think the presidential election is more about the big questions and the big direction that the country goes in. My role here is really implementing some of that. We're an administrative arm to some extent of the federal government and the state government, so I'm not sure that on a day-to-day basis it matters much in county government. I think it matters as much to me as it does you and everybody who's probably watching from a big policy standpoint. And then I think that's how people voted. I think if that second debate that really was a lot more issue-oriented, I think people saw where the candidates stood on big, important issues, and that's, I think, what drove the vote. If you want these kinds of policies, you go that way. If you want these kinds, you go that way.
So that's a no comment?
No, I am happy to talk about it, but what I was resisting was continuing the politics and the divisiveness after today. The polls are closed. Now's the time to count the votes. We're all supposed to applaud the winner and then support the winner and hope that they succeed. That's where I think we have failed a little bit in this country is, we give it our best shot, both parties, and now third and fourth parties. We give it our best shot, but today is the day that the people get to speak at the ballot box, and then it's time for the team that came up short to support the team that won.
No matter who.
No matter who. It's not about continuing the fight after today. After today, we come back together as Americans, we come back together as New Yorkers, and we pull for our kids.
All right, so last impossible question. How do public officials like you do that? Start pulling back together? Because
I do it myself because I focus everything I do through this prism of what's best for the next generation. And it is not in our kids' best interest for me to simply fight with the other people that are here today. We're supposed to look forward. And I can work with anybody the voters send as long as we're all looking down the road at what's best for the community. And that's my request to anybody who gets elected tonight is just keep in mind why we're here and let's do the right thing.
Okay. Joanie, why'd you pick the Hotel Syracuse for your party?
I am so happy that the Hotel Syracuse is back. We have a new convention center hotel. The convention center has held on a lot of years, missing out on conventions because we haven't had a hotel, and I want to do everything I can to support this hotel. Ed Riley did a fantastic job bringing it back to life. I'm here with my family and a few friends, and we're just going to watch the elections. And
Did you pointedly try to be away from the county Republicans?
No, I sometimes am in the party with the county Republicans, and sometimes I'm not. It's not all bad not having a party. It allows me to do things like this with my family and friends. So I was considering it for a little while tonight. I was thinking about going up there. I went to the SU Lemoyne game with my husband, and because we kind of just ran out of time to do all three, we came down here. But there are a lot of Republicans that I'm supporting. I'm very hopeful that John Kakko is sent back. He is exactly what the country needs in terms of somebody who can figure out how to work with people and make things happen. I know Matt Doran, and I think he'll be fantastic on the bench. There's a lot of Republicans I'm supporting, and I hope I see them tonight at some point.
Thanks, Joanie.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see you. Good luck.